How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we unfortunately have Chapter 30 of Phantom Seer. I say unfortunately because this is the final chapter. This is the end. We did not get any extension that we heard about, especially not a 23 Chapter 1, more like a 2 to 3 Chapter 1, but I made a short video talking about that, so we're just going to get right into it. I like the way they, with them having to finish it here, I like the way they did it. They didn't try to wrap up every single loose end. They wrapped up what was going on right now, set up a starting point to go forward, and just the story continues after this. So they didn't just end everything here. They ended what they could and said, all right, it's going to go on. Take it from here. Do your headcanon. Have fun. So I might make a video in the future talking about that, like my headcanon, how the series kind of goes after this. But anyway, we get it right into it, and we pick up where we left off with Iori being able to use Onyoki's shadow thanks to Riku's disintegration barrier. He can keep it on his arm and use the sword, and he's using that to fight against the doll god, who basically vomits an absolute crap ton of that black filth. So he's having a very hard time pushing through and beating the doll god on his own. And this is when we get our friendly little Tengu coming in. Yep, that's right. Kemma's back in action. Not by much, but he's conscious, and it's enough to get the Tengu up and running. And they come out to help Iori, get in front of him, give it a little bit extra push, help him out what little bit they still can with what little energy they have. Kemma's telling him, he goes, come on, Iori, you gotta push. You're the guy who comes through when we need him, right? Riku's behind him. She's helping push with the barrier. She's telling him, Iori, I know you can do this. We got Iori looking back like, yes, I know, I'm trying. Like, he's not being mean or anything, but he's like, yeah, I know that. Now, who do you think is up front right now? Who do you think is trying to push through this crap? This ain't just water, you know? So, yeah. And then we get a phantom of Yukazuki. I went back and I looked up her name. I felt it was appropriate. This is the final chapter. This is a nice little moment for Iori. And he sees an image of her, a phantom of her, and she says, hey, kid, I know you can do this. And Iori even says in his head, he goes, I know it wasn't her. I know it wasn't real. But in that moment, I chose to believe in that phantom of her. This happens. He finds the strength, cuts through, splits the doll god in half, cuts Senju Doji's arm off of the puppet master, and slices Senju Doji in half. Like, you literally see half of her face just, like, laying on the ground. Like, you just wait, you damn kid. Lady, wait for what? Like, I'm sorry, but if you got cut in half now, and now you're going to have to go run away and spend your time recuperating to get back to full strength, and all these shaman are just going to keep getting stronger, and now they have one of your former conceiving hands as help. Granted, she doesn't, I believe, have the same powers as she used to, losing the arm and everything, but still, that's a lot of information that she has about you, Senju Doji. Information, if you didn't know, it's pretty powerful. So, yeah, that's what I'm curious, okay? Wait for what? What are you gonna do? By the time you get back to full strength, everybody else is gonna be stronger, and they already cut you in half just now. If you didn't run away, they would have just exercised you then. So I don't know what anybody's waiting for. You might be waiting for somebody to show up on your doorstep like, hey, I see you're almost fully formed. See you're missing the bottom half of both your legs, though, still. That's a darn shame, ain't it? Throws the shadow sword on his back. Like, come on, really? You're not going to be threatening right now. You just got chopped in half. Calm down. Sit down. Go away, little child. Bye-bye. Get out. So, I thought that was funny, her trying to be kind of menacing on her way out the door as she got chopped in half. And then we get Iori holding the sword above both Rita and Amelia. I feel it's also appropriate to start calling them by their real names because so does Iori. Amelia says, so you're not going to cut us down? And Iori says, no, I'm going to get some trustworthy shamans to exercise those dolls the proper way without putting them through that pain, and you're going to be witnesses. Like, you're going to see what I'm talking about when I say we don't do things like that anymore. He also tells her, he said, he saw her in the moment where he sliced through. She protected Rita. that was the only thing that Amelia was worried about, was making sure that Rita was okay. He said, how could I cut you down after seeing that? And yeah, he doesn't. So they're going to take them back with them. They're not treating them as prisoners or anything. They're not treating them like they're horrible, bad people. Obviously, like I said, this is a little girl that was manipulated during a very sad and lonely time. And the other one is just a doll. Not just a doll, but come on. I don't think Amelia is this, like, traveled person throughout the world that knows all about philosophy and the good and evils of mankind. And no, like, come on. So, yeah, they're going to take them, and they say, yeah, Iori says that maybe it's due to the influence of a certain Tengu master, but he wants to learn more about the relationships between humans and phantoms. That's not something that he's really thought of before very much. But yeah, thanks to Kenma, and probably Amelia too. He would like to learn more about that, because it's not just a simple gray and white type of thing. And yeah, he calls her the doll master. But then he corrects himself. He goes, I mean, Rita and Amelia? Like, he's not too sure about it. He's like, it's still kind of strange. Like, I don't know, but whatever. I'm going to call you by my name. Call you by your name. I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to be mean old Iori anymore. Like he's reforming himself. So Amelia and Rita have this nice little moment where they realize they can stay together after all this time. After everything that's happened, everything they've done, they can still be together, because that was really what Rita wanted in the first place. That's what Amelia wanted in the first place. They just want to be together because they were always alone. And it's also very nice because Amelia says that this is the first time, I think this was Amelia, not Rita. She says this is the first time that a shaman has ever actually called her by her name instead of Puppet Master, or Doll Master, or whatever they wanted to call her. This is the first time they've actually ever fully used her name, which is very nice to come from Iori, the person learning the most about the relationships between humans and phantoms. Kenma already knows about the relationships between humans and phantoms. He's had a relationship with 3 phantoms ever since he was a little kid. So, yes, that was very nice. Everything's good. Hunky-dory. Everybody gets to go home. So we got Riku coming up behind Iori saying, hey. He goes, yeah, I know. I'm tired. Let's get out of here. So they're all getting packed up, getting carted out. Kenma's on a stretcher. Kondo's on a stretcher. And we get Mr. Akama. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Akama finally shows up. And Kondo's like, yeah, dude, you're late. What were you doing? Sorry. That's all we get. All we get is Kondo saying he was late, and Mr. Akama being like, yeah, sorry about that. My bad. Like, yeah, you're bad. Now I didn't even get to see any of what you could do. Oh, I'm so sad this is the end of the series. We didn't get to see what Mr. Akama could do. We didn't really, truly get to see what Yayoi could do. Oh, man, there's so many cool things that the author could have done with this series. It's so disappointing. But moving on, we're nearing the end now. We got the last little bits. It says the battle at the dollhouse ended. They were all hurt gravely, but as we know, everybody was able to make it out alive, which is a good thing. Obviously, we don't want anybody being hurt. And we actually transport back to Iori's room at the school, the one with all the talismans in it. And him and I almost said Rita. Him and Riku are having a nice little heart-to-heart, talking about how Rita and Amelia are going to be staying with Nabari, or like Mr. Kama's organization, not at Tsukiyomi Mansion with Yayoi and Iori and Riku and all of them. And they say something about now that Senju Doji can't gather more people. Originally, that confused me. I was like, wait, why? Why? And I'm guessing, when I thought about it, I'm guessing it's because her being cut in half, what I said earlier, probably going to have to take time to regain her strength. I'm sure she was pretty close to being dead, considering she was hit by a shaman, cut in half by a shaman, using shaman powers. So, probably very close to being exorcised if she didn't leave and retreat. So, I'm guessing it's going to take time for her to get her strength back to be able... I'm sure if she's on her deathbed, she can't just be like, hey guys, come here, I'm going to bestow all 10 of you with these super special powers. Thanks, go protect me. No, that would probably kill her off. That'd probably be the last of her energy. So she probably has to recuperate for a while before she can really start building her forces again. Which, at least that's how I'm going to take it. That's what I'm going to assume. This is when we have Iori really talking about Kenma protecting the Tengu, Amelia protecting Rita, and how he never really thought about the relationship between humans and phantoms before. He always saw his as just a power for revenge, and he was kind of afraid of that power. He didn't really want to accept it. But during the fight, when he did accept it, and he says, this is also thanks to you, Riku, it made it a lot easier to handle it. So a nice little thing about him accepting himself and him also accepting the help from Riku, obviously lightening the load on Iori. So obviously that is a parallel to real life. If you accept who you are, it's easier to live with yourself. If you accept help from others, it will make your life easier because, well, it's easier to lift a dryer with 2 people than it is to lift a dryer by yourself. If you haven't tried, don't try. It's not very fun doing it by yourself. Nobody wants to move heavy appliances by themselves, okay? Just simple to figure out. This ain't rocket science, okay? So, Riku tells him, though, she's like, yeah, but she goes, don't forget about your feelings just because you're now accepting your phantom powers. She goes, don't forget about yourself in the process. Those feelings you always had, those are also you. She goes, you should accept both of them. You should accept your whole self and explore new possibilities for yourself, which is what we should all do in daily life. That's how you should live your life. You should never just close yourself off from everything. That helps almost nothing, unless you're, well, sick and got a quarantine, but we're not going to talk about that in 2021, even though it's still... Anyway, moving on. He says, thanks, Riku. She says, yeah, the same to you. And we get a very nice, small smile on Iori. He's not going to turn into Luffy. He's not going to be, yeah! Pirate King! Woo! No. That's not Iori. But instead of the scowl, the straight face, the frown, we see a little bit of a smile on his face, and that's nice to see. And then, so obviously, we can't have one final chapter without big ol' sis Yayoi calling one more time. And she tells him that, hey, nice to see that you're accepting your phantom powers. That means I can put you guys to work. Yeah, she's literally already got somebody. You're always like, seriously, I'm still tired. I want a break. And she goes, yeah, no, there's already somebody at the door. So yeah, there's already a girl at the door asking, like, hey, saw something weird. Can you help? And Riku's like, come on, Iori, let's go. He's like, all right, fine, whatever. So we get this nice page, couple pages where I really enjoy this. It's a mirror back to chapter 1, the very beginning, where it's saying there's this rumor, there's a boy at school, he's weird, if you need help, he's somebody you can count on, stuff like that, in the little square boxes. I really enjoy that because it mirrors it, but yet this time he has Riku there with him. He's not as standoffish, he's not as creepy, he's just a guy, and Riku's with him. And it's really nice to see that, yeah, we haven't gone far, but in what little time we have had, we've grown a lot. And it's actually Riku saying all this because by the time you get to the very end, she says, because that's how it happened to me. So, yeah, this is wonderful. There's a cat phantom at the very end, and we get Iori and Riku there with the girl that was telling them about it. And Iori says, it's a shame you ran into us. A cat phantom? Yeah, I got a pretty serious phantom of my own. And he's holding up the ring. He's got the key on it, letting Onyoki out. He's got a smile on his face. He's not scared anymore. He's just pushing forward. And yeah, like I said, this is where it ends. We get to take it from here. So yeah, if you enjoyed the series, kind of think about it a little bit. Where would you want things to go? How would you want things to happen? Would you want them to slowly take out Conceiving Hands until it gets down to just Senju Doji, or would you rather it be like a race against the clock to try and find her before she can fully reform, and they take out like 2 more Conceiving Hands, and then time's up, Senju Doji's like, no, they're too close, we got to take them out now, so she grabs the other 2 Conceiving Hands that are left, and whatever other phantom she can gather up, and it's just a big clash at that point. I just said that again with my Bible. All the options are on the table. The series is over. Unfortunately, we will not get any more than this. But like I said, I enjoyed the way they decided to finish this off without trying to wrap up every single little thing. They gave us a good jumping off point to where, hey, this is nice, happy finish, and things continue from here, just in a better way. So, that's it, unfortunately. This is, like I said multiple times now, the end of Phantom Seer. I said in my previous short little video talking, kind of correcting the information about it being the end. We're probably going to start doing One Piece. I have a couple more Phantom Seer videos I want to do. I want to do one about the info cards, and then maybe one about, like I was just talking about, muttering on about the stuff that could happen going on in the story. Kind of make up my own path to Senju Doji being the final boss. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, unfortunately, there won't be a whole lot more Phantom Seer content coming, but there will be a couple videos. And other than that, go down in the comments. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll be around. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.